Welcome to Roughing It with Ruth, the channel where everything is a bit rough around the edges. I am actually at the Tierpoort Adventure Farm, which is in the east of Pretoria, and I'm busy hiking here, a 10-kilometer trail. And I want to tell you in this video about my favorite alternative to solo hiking. As you can see, I am actually hiking on my own currently, but I'm not really on my own, and I'll explain why in this video. Particularly in South Africa, it is a safety concern to hike on your own, and being in a group of people is definitely safer. But I think that the event that I'm taking part in today is actually a very good balance between getting to be on your own and also getting to be safe. In my opinion, the best alternative to solo hiking is to take part in formally organized events. Now, before you click away from this video and think, oh, I don't want to belong to a hiking club, I don't want to take part in races, this is not either of those two things. This event is organized by an organization called Revolution Trail Runs. It is not competitive at all, and you do not have to belong to a club. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, oh, but I don't want to do a trail running competition. That sounds terrible. I want to go on a nice chilled hike. Well, that is where the Revolution bunch of people in particular are so fantastic, because their events are not competitive at all. There's no prize money, there's no podium, there's no prize giving. They welcome hikers on their trails. There is a cut-off, so the start today was at 6:30. Well, the earliest that you could start was at 6:30, and the cut-off for all of the distance is 11 o'clock. So you've got 4.5 hours. If you do the 10-kilometer, you can really take it easy, doing it in 4.5 hours. If you're wanting to hike a little bit faster, you can maybe do the 15, or if you want to hike really fast, maybe you could even do the 21. Or if you just want to be completely chilled, then you can do the 2 or the 5, which would give you an enormous amount of time. You could do like 1 kilometer per hour to do the 5. Another really innovative thing that the Revolution Trails event organizers do is they don't actually have a fixed starting time. There is a group start, which is at 6:30 in the summer or at 7 a.m. in the winter, but you can start later than that. There are a few caveats to that, like if you want to do the longer distances, there is a cut-off. Beyond a certain time, they won't let you start the longer distances, only the shorter distances. But it's actually really nice, because if you do want to do a shorter distance, like the 5-kilometer, and you don't want to wake up at the crack of dawn, then you could easily arrive here at like 8 and still come and do the 5-kilometer and finish before the cutoff at 11. Another thing that I think is quite nice about Revolution Trails is that the prices for the events are quite affordable. The 10-kilometer was 120 Rand, and that's when I entered online. If you enter on the day, there's an additional 30 Rand fee that is added to all of the distances. The shorter distances tend to be a little bit less expensive, longer distances slightly more expensive, but they also do have prices for pensioners and for children under 13 years old. I do also just want to say that Revolution Trails is not sponsoring me to say this. They're not giving me any kickbacks for this. They didn't allow me to enter the event for free. I am just making this video because I have found them to be an incredibly useful tool for training, both for hiking and for trail running, because it can be really, really difficult to find people to train with. Sometimes your schedules just don't overlap, or you just don't have people who are interested in the same kinds of activities that you are. And doing something like the Revolution Trail Runs really makes it so easy to participate in an event where there are people, so there's more safety and it's a bit more structured, but you still get to go out into nature, go at your own speed, and not feel like you're racing. Now, while having people around you is great from a safety perspective, I know a lot of people actually prefer hiking on their own, but I mean, as you can see from a lot of footage in this video, most of the time that I am hiking, I am on my own. There are occasionally people coming past, or sometimes I will pass other people. Sometimes at the water points, you will come across other people, but it's definitely not like you're hiking in a pack of people. You still get to have a lovely, quite solitary experience out in nature, if that's what you want. A major advantage of taking part in a more formally organized event like the Revolution Trail Runs is that they often have things like water points. So if you want to carry slightly less stuff than you usually would on a hike or a trail run, then that's really useful because you can stock up with water and maybe a few snacks at the water points. Something that's great about the Revolution Trails is that a lot of their venues are also pet friendly. Not all of them, so you do have to check on the website to make sure that the event you want to go to is pet friendly before you rock up with your dog. But this one that I'm doing today is pet friendly, so you can bring your four-legged pal and come and take part with them, which is lovely. Formally organized events like this also often put out additional markers on the trails, which means that it can be a little bit easier to follow than if you were just hiking on your own at that venue. And that's quite nice, particularly when you start out hiking or trail running, if you're a little bit anxious about getting lost. And even if you do get lost, then at least you know that there's quite a few people at the venue that you will come across that can put you back on the right track if you need it. Now, I know that not everybody is going to have a Revolution Trails event organizer right near them, but what Revolution Trails has made me realize is that I think people underutilize formally organized races a lot. Because if the cutoff time is lenient enough, then you don't have to run at a lot of these events. So it's a good idea to just research the types of events that do take place around you. And if you can't find anything at all in your area, then maybe consider starting up some kind of club that does organize this kind of thing. Because what I have found with Revolution Trails is that many people do want that type of event that is not competitive, where everyone can go at their own speed, and it's more for training than for competition. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you would like to see more from me, then you can click on my channel name to see videos that I've made in the past, or you can subscribe to my channel to see videos that I'm going to make in the future.